Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me, if you can hear me, if everything is good, please do let me know in the chat. Today we'll be discussing tips and tricks and basically a study plan to do well in LRDA. We are going to look only at LRDA. So if you have any doubts or any queries with respect to LRDA, please do let me know in the chat. I'll try to answer most of the questions. The first question is by Vikas. Good evening, sir. In LRDA, I'm able to solve like half the set each time, but get stuck after that. How can I improve in that situation? Okay, because this is for everybody who is watching. LRDA, when you're approaching it, you have to approach it in a slightly different manner as compared to the remaining two sections, which is verbal and quant. This I tell in many of my podcasts. I'm going to repeat this again because I think it is important. When you're preparing for LRDA, once the LRDA section is coming, try to keep the last 2 minutes of verbal to be not intense. Try not to have any time scrambles. Try not to panic. Try not to attempt anything at the last minute. Try to calm yourself down in the last 1 to 2 minutes in verbal section. That is the first thing. Because once LRDA starts, you want to be as calm as possible. You don't want to have a large adrenaline when LRDA starts because adrenaline will crash. And after that, you feel tired for a few minutes, you are going to waste time. That is the first step, where you calm down in the last few minutes, in the last few seconds of verbal section so that you start DLR with a peaceful mind. The second thing I do is when I look at LRDA, I first look at all the 4 sets. We are expecting 4 sets, each set to have 5 questions, which is what has happened in the last few years. So there will be 4 sets, each set with 5 questions, and you have to look at each of the 4 sets at the start. Once your LRDA section starts, spend the first couple of minutes in trying to look at each of the 4 sets. And when you're looking at each of the 4 sets, what I want you to do is try to figure out the kind of set it is. Sometimes when you look at a set, you can figure out whether it is a DI set or an LR set. In a DI set, there are different types of DIs. We can discuss the types of DIs sometime later. And then there are LRs. That is the sets which are mostly logical based. Sometimes there will be a mix of both, but even then there will be one which is of more precedence, or there will be a set which has more LR as compared to DI. So first you have to figure out whether which of the sets are DI, which of the sets are LR. Second, if you are looking at LR, what type of LR is it? Is it a games and tournament set? Is it a quant based LR? Is it some sort of an arrangement or a puzzle? Is it a scheduling set? So try to get a sense of what is the type of LR it is based on your experience. You should have solved at least 500 LRDA sets before the examination. So once you solve so many sets, you will get an idea of the different types of LRs that are really asked. If you are aiming to score 99 percentile in CAT in LRDA, I would recommend that you have to solve at least 500 LRDA sets by the time of CAT, which is not very difficult. You have around say 120 days. You'll be taking a lot of mocks. In every mock, there are 4 sets. In addition to it, I want you to practice say 2 sets every day, and towards then you can increase it. So if you have solved around 500 sets, you can identify the different commonly asked DLR sets. So the first 2 minutes, I want you to identify each of the 4 sets into different buckets. Is it a DI set? Is it an LR set? In an LR set, is it a games and tournament set? Is it an arrangement set? Is it a scheduling set? Different types of LRs, you identify which of them it probably is. You might not be 100% accurate, but at least you should get an idea of the different types of sets that are given. Similarly, if it is a DI set, what type of a DI set is it? The important types of DIs, I'm going to tell you, I want you to practice each one of them. The different important types of data interpretation sets, that is the form of DI, is bar chart, pie chart, line graph. In addition to it, spiderweb. Spiderweb, I think, was asked in CAT 2020. It was not asked in the last 2-3 years, but it was asked, say, I think 3-4 years back. So spiderweb also is not a very difficult DI. If you know how to read a spiderweb, it is very useful. Spiderweb, these are the common types of DIs. In addition to it, one type of set which is asked, which used to be asked earlier, was a 4-parameter Venn diagram. So basically, there are different newspapers that are sold. Just to give you an example, a person can have 1 or more parameters. So for example, there is a housing society in which newspapers are sold. Each household gets either 1 newspaper or 2 newspapers or 3 newspapers. And there is some information given about each of the 3 newspapers. If you assume that the newspapers are A, B and C and maybe D, there are say 4 newspapers that are sold, A, B, C and D. A is sold in 50, B is sold in 60, C is sold in 70 and D is sold in 80. And the total number of households in that complex is say 150. Based on it, you have to figure out the maximum number of households which get 2 newspapers or 3 newspapers. This is a maxima kind of a Venn diagram with 4 parameters. This also is sometimes asked, but it is not very difficult to solve it. There are many videos that I made. Many of the videos are actually on YouTube also. You can check them out. So this is with respect to the different types of DI sets. So spend the first couple of minutes in trying to assess all the different types of sets that are given. Try to figure out of these 4 sets, what are the sets that you are good at, what are the sets that you are not good at. Make a priority order based on your own assumptions, that okay, this set looks easy, this set looks difficult. Secondly, another thing that I would tell you is, in each of this set, when you're doing that analysis, in addition to figuring out the topic of the DI set, you should also figure out whether it is an individual question or whether it is a group set. What I mean by that is, sometimes when you solve a LRDI set, when you look at when you solve an LRDI set, once you solve the set, all the questions can be immediately solved. But sometimes in sets which are like say selection with conditions, in most of these kind of sets, you have to solve each of the question individually. So you have to figure out whether it is a group set or an individual set. Both of them have pros and cons. The pro of solving a group set is, once you solve the set, you can immediately answer all the 5 questions. The con is, if you get stuck in the middle, you'll get none of the 5 questions correct. Similarly, for individual questions, the pro is that even if you don't get all the 5 questions, some of the individual 5 questions will be easy and you'll be able to get them correct, because each of the question is individual question. It is based on one particular scenario. The con is, solving all the 5 questions individually will take a lot of time, and most likely the accuracy will not be 100%. So these are basically the pros and the cons. When you're doing this analysis of the first couple of minutes, you should figure out, based on all of these scenarios, you have to figure out a priority order. You should immediately know that first I'm going to attempt, say, the second set. Then I'll attempt the 4th set. Then if I have time, I'll come to the 1st set, and then I'll come to the 3rd set. The reason for that is because now you're bringing some sort of an order into your brain, so that it will decrease panic. If say you start the 2nd set and if you solve it, that is fantastic. But suppose you get stuck in the 2nd set, then you don't want to again scramble around for the remaining 3 sets. Then you have a clear plan B, which is that if I'm not getting the 2nd set, I'm going to go to the 4th set. Try to solve it. If you solve it, again, fantastic. If you don't solve it, again, if you get stuck, then go to the 1st set and then the 3rd set. Whatever is your priority order. This is what I normally do. This will ensure that you get at least 1 set correct. Because one of the big problems, one of the big problems in LRDI is that you panic a lot and you miss out on solving the LRDI set. Guys, we have close to 50 people who are watching the stream live. Please do like the stream. I'll answer a few questions in the meantime. Victor is saying, sir, in Krakow mocks, every set looks difficult. But hats off, they are very creative and good sets. I like spending time with them. Sometimes it takes 1 to 2 hours. Thanks a lot, Victor. For us also, when we are preparing these LRDI sets, we put in a lot of thought. We want to create different types of LRDIs because we want to prepare students for a diverse variety of LRDI sets. Normally, in my experience, what I've noticed is, out of the 4 sets, there will be 2 sets which are traditional. There will be 2 sets which you would have seen some set like that earlier. This I'm talking about in actual CAT. But 2 sets will be completely new. You have to solve them, or even the method of solving them, most likely you'll have to figure it out in the examination. That is what we are trying to mimic. It won't happen that all the 4 sets that you get are traditional sets or sets which you have solved earlier. That won't happen. Normally 2 sets will be like that, where they are commonly asked kind of sets, like the sets that arrangements that I mentioned earlier. But 2 sets will be fairly new. Mridil Sisodia is saying, sir, which topic should I start in quant? Today's I wanted to discuss only about LRDI, but because you asked me this, I'm going to tell you, in quant there are 3 important topics. Can somebody message me what are the 3 important topics in quant for helping Mridil? Royal Enfield is saying, sir, is HCF LCM factors multiple prime numbers, are they enough for DILR? Whereas Fermat theorem, Chinese Remainder theorem, trailing zeros are all confusion regarding number system. I think many of the things that you mentioned are not very important. If you are just starting preparing for CAT, I would say ignore all of these remainder theorems. Even trailing zeros is not very difficult. It's just one concept. Try to understand it. If you're not understanding it, also that is fine, because in all of the things that you mentioned, at max, there will be one question that will be asked, which also you might not be sure you'll answer it correctly in the examination. So it is not good return on investment. On the other hand, HCF, LCM factors and multiples prime numbers, I think they're pretty good because they're not very difficult. They can be solved. These, all of them I'm talking with respect to quant, with not respect to DLR. In DLR, I don't think any of these questions will be really asked. Victor is again saying, sir, how to do revision? I was confident about a month ago about algebra, but now I felt like I'm forgetting everything. The thing is, you have to keep solving questions regularly. If you solve questions, you'll have that confidence with you. If you don't solve questions, you feel like you are forgetting. So keep solving regularly. Omkar Kale is saying, sir, what is the number of questions I should solve daily of all sections as I have joined the Kraku 150 day batch? If you have joined the Kraku batch, we have recently started a 120 day batch for CAT. If you have joined any of the earlier Kraku batches or even the batch that is starting today, what I would tell you is simple. Just stick to the schedule that we give you. Every day in the morning, you will get a mail. Open the mail and you will be given a list of resources that we want you to finish on that particular day. It will include some videos that we want you to watch. It will include some questions that we want you to solve. The questions will be mostly based on the video. So solve them and just stick to the schedule. If you have more time, once you finish the daily tasks, if you have more time, then solve the Kraku daily targets. If you have more time after solving the Kraku daily targets, then go and attempt study room questions. This should be your order of priority. And in the daily schedule that we sent you, we will send you every day in the morning. Over the weekends, we will ask you to take certain mocks or some sectionals. Stick to it and take those mocks and sectionals. That I think is more than sufficient. Royal Enfield is saying, do you think D8 charts will be reintroduced this time? Your guess is as good as mine. What I am fairly confident is that quant will be easier this year as compared to last year. Because I think last year they completely made quant extremely difficult. So I think they would have gotten feedback that it was just way too difficult. So probably I'm expecting quant to be slightly on the easier side this time. Beyond the familiar is saying, sir, hello sir, Rahul this side. DashCat 6 quants were tougher than DashCat 5. With every mock, I feel the difficulty level is increasing, not getting consistent result at all. The thing is very simple, man. Like quant in CAT 2023 is much more difficult as compared to any of the previous year's quants. So if we give quant of the same difficulty level in every single DashCat, we feel we are not preparing you enough. So we always try to mix it up a little. Some of the DashCats, the quant will be easier. Some of the DashCats, the quant will be tougher. And it is actually a deliberate choice. And it is after putting in a lot of effort that we are actually preparing these sets. Sometimes we change questions because if we feel that the mock is getting either too difficult or too easy, and we want it to be the other way around, we change questions to make it more difficult or more easy. So we are trying to mix it up. It is for your own good. I want you to still continue to take the DashCats regularly. Vipreet Buddhi is saying, sir, solving speed is very low. Managed to attempt one set in 40 minutes. How to increase speed? How to go about practicing this section? Very good question, Vipreet. This is something that many people also feel. Can anybody tell me two very good resources to prepare for LRDI, to solve and practice LRDIs? Two good resources. I would tell you the answer, but if anybody knows it, please do let me know. Yeah, many of you have actually answered the three most important topics in quant, which is arithmetic, algebra, and geometry. So somebody asked the question. Start off with these three things. I think Brudil, these are three very important topics. Start solving them. They will help you quite a lot. Victor, Mahi, all of them are giving the right answer. Apur speaks. What I would tell you is very simple. If you have just started preparing for CAT, the best resource for you to prepare for LRDI is completely free. It is the previous year's papers, because they will give you a sense of the kind of questions that are asked. You will get an idea of what are the kind of puzzles that are asked or what are the kind of logical reasoning sets that are asked. Go to the Kraku website, download the PDFs for all the previous year's papers. Start from CAT 2023. There are 3 slots in CAT 2023. Download those 3 PDFs. There are 3 slots in CAT 2022. Download those PDFs. Similarly, for CAT 2021, CAT 20, for all of the years, download the PDFs. If you have a printer, take a printout. If you don't have a printer, that is fine. And every day, try to answer 1 or 2 LRDI sets from these previous year's papers. And when you're answering a set, spend a lot of time. It is not important that you actually solve it. The effort that you put in trying to solve it will improve you in LRDI. Even if you don't feel that you're improving, just if you put in honest effort in trying to solve it, you will improve. A metaphor that I give you for these kind of things is, imagine that you want to go to the gym and you want to improve your physique, improve your fitness. Now, suppose you are lifting a pen. It's a very light pen. You are lifting it 100 times. You will not develop any new muscles. But suppose there is a big rock, giant rock. Okay, it's a giant rock on the ground, and you are trying to lift that rock. You put in a lot of effort. The rock doesn't move an inch. Even then, if you continue to do it for a few days, you will notice that your physique, your muscles, they have improved. The reason for that is because you have put in effort. Whether the rock moved or not is immaterial. You have put in effort, your muscles have put in effort, so they have improved. Lifting a pen is very easy. Nothing was really worked out there, so your muscles won't improve. Similarly, even in LRDI, even in quant, even in CAT, anything that you're going to do, if you put in the effort, whether you solve the set, whether you solve the question or not is not important. If you're putting in real effort, your brain will start working better. So the way to solve these LRDIs is spend around say 30 minutes, actively spend 30 minutes. Switch off your phone, don't have any distractions, turn off all notifications, just focus on that LRDI set, spend 30 minutes, try to figure out a way in which you can solve it. Try all the different combinations. Whatever your brain tells you, try to do it and try to solve it in 30 minutes. If you don't solve it in 30 minutes, then look at the text solution. If you don't understand the text solution, then go to the video solution. In the PDF that we given, the video solution is already present. There will be a link for you to access the video solution. So you can click on it and watch the video solution. But this is how you prepare and you improve in LRDS. We have more than 50 people who are watching this stream live, guys. Please do like the stream. Yeah, the second good resource to improve in LRDI is the Krakow daily targets. If you have enrolled to the Krakow daily targets, definitely do them every day. In Krakow daily targets, every single day, we give one LRDI set, we give one test in quant, and we give one RC passage. All of these three tests have detailed video solutions, and they are every day taken by thousands of students. Many people mail me back after the examination that Krakow daily targets have helped them quite a lot. And in my opinion, the best resource for you to practice very good CAT level questions are the Krakow daily targets. So if you have enrolled to them, definitely make the best use of them. Like every day, the number of Krakow daily targets that are taken are around 7,000 recently. So you can imagine the number of people who are taking them regularly. Devansh Paliwal is saying, sir, how to access the Krakow mocks? If you are looking to access the Krakow mocks, you can just go to the Krakow mocks page. If you have not enrolled to it, please do send a mail to support@krakow.in. Support, SUPPORT@krakow.in. We will get in touch with you about how to enroll to the Krakow mocks. Mahesh is saying, what should be our thought process while we are panicking, unable to solve at least one set in 20 minutes? Mahesh, the way you have to approach the examination is slightly different. The way I approach it is basically by telling myself that I have to solve 2 sets. I don't have to solve all the 4 sets. I have to solve 2 sets, and anybody who solves 2 sets well and correct is going to get 99 percentile in LRDA. Because I think the 99 percentile mark in LRDA is around 26 marks. That is, if you get around say 9 questions correct, you are going to get 99 percentile. 9 is basically more or less 2 sets. So for each set you have 20 minutes. Now again, getting 99 percentile is fantastic, but it is not really needed also. If you are aiming for an overall score of 99.5 or so, you don't need to score 99 percentile in LRDA. It is good to score 99 percentile, but you can make it up in the other 2 sections. So even if a LRDA section is not going well, you have to basically calm yourself down by thinking that, okay, if I can get 1 set correct, that itself is going to ensure that you will clear the 80 percentile cutoff. If you get 1 set correct, you will definitely get between 85 to 90 percentile in CAT in LRDA. So that is how you should calm yourself down. And the trick that I mentioned to you earlier about first spending the first couple of minutes in trying to assess the different sets will help you pick the easy sets first. At least it is a good heuristic. It is not a guarantee. It is also based on how well you are able to read and assess the sets. But at least you are not shooting in the blind. You have looked at all the sets and you made a calculated guess about which set would be easier. Now, even if you have gone wrong and you realize it after 7 to 8 minutes that you picked a wrong set, that is fine. You still have around 30 minutes. Then go to the next set in your hierarchy. Omkar is saying, sir, in the study room there are approximately 300 sets of arrangement. Do we need to solve all? Does it have variety in every set? See, the thing is, the more sets you solve, the more confident you become. You don't need to solve all the 300 sets. But in study room, the way it is designed is, as you keep solving questions and as you keep getting more and more questions correct, the questions that will be given to you will be slightly more and more tougher. So it is adaptive in nature. So based on your proficiency, if it is improving, you will keep getting more and more difficult questions. Sahiti Nalumasu is saying, sir, I feel study room is very easy to solve. Is it the actual level of CAT? Study room has a wide variety of questions. It starts with easy questions and they will slowly keep getting more and more difficult as you keep solving more and more of them. Basically, somebody who has just started solving questions from study room will get easy questions. But once they start getting the easy questions correct, they will keep getting more and more difficult questions. So the kind of questions that are given to you is based on your proficiency in that topic, and that proficiency is basically determined by how many questions you have gotten correct. Guys, we have more than 50 people who are watching our stream live, more than 60. Please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 80 likes before the stream ends. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Apur Speaks is saying 40, 20, 30 to score 100 is good, sir. I think that's a very smart calculation. That is a very good calculation. The assumption is that you're going to do very well in verbal, you'll do pretty well in quant, and you'll also do reasonably well in LRDA. That I think is a pretty good guess. 40, 20, 30 is adding up to 90, but you will get slightly more marks in each of the sections, or maybe you'll outperform in one of the sections to get 100. I think that is a good choice. You can work on it. Aditya Sinha is saying, sir, reading is not helping in solving RCs. Even though I'm solving 2 RCs per day using tricks as well, time taken is also very high. See, don't feel demotivated. Improvement does not happen in one day. Reading as a habit will definitely help you in RCs. Definitely. Okay, I've seen that happen to many people. I've seen it happen to hundreds of students who used to struggle in VRC. So you have to just believe me when I tell you that every day if you're reading 3 or 4 articles consistently, regularly online, if you just inculcate that habit of reading 3 or 4 good articles online every day, you will definitely see your comprehension skills improve and your score in RCs improve within 1.5 months. You have to do this every day, put in good effort every day to read 3 or 4 articles. And these articles should not be like some movie articles or Bollywood articles or sports articles. They should be normal articles, the kind of articles that are asked in CAT. One of the things that I would tell you is go through the last 4-5 years CAT, figure out the RC sources. We have actually written a blog earlier where we listed on the RC sources of all of the last few years RCs, and bookmark those websites and start reading from those websites. That is how you improve. Tejas Patel. Yeah, man, I know. You sent us a mail, right? Overall 99.80 but no college. Please help with respect to DLR. The thing is very simple, man. You have to solve more and more questions. The more questions you solve, the better you get. There is no magic pill or magic bullet. You have to ensure that you solve more and more sets. You have to be obsessed about it. Looking at your verbal score and looking at your quant score, both of them are fantastic. You got 99.73 in verbal, you got 99.97 in quant. Both of them are fantastic. Now, don't look at it as repeating or struggling or anything like that. Just ensure that this is one area where you can improve. So look at it as, okay, DLR, if I improve it and if I score say 95 percentile plus, my overall percentile will be very close to 100. So you have to look at DLR not as a mental block or psychological, don't get affected by it psychologically. Look at it as a area in which you can improve a lot, where the number of marks that you get will be quite high. Yeah, Prabjot, I will give CAT this year. Samir Mishra, good to see you also. Omkar is saying, hello sir, currently I am getting 1.5 sets correct in mocks, and in sectionals, it's 2 on average. How to improve accuracy and attempts in mock? See, the thing is, don't worry about it. If you're getting 2 sets correct, that is fantastic. Ensure that once you're getting 2 sets correct, the remaining 2 sets at least try to get a few of the questions correct. Try to inculcate this skill of making educated guesses in theta questions. These are things that you can get, these skills also you develop only when you take a lot of mocks and sectionals. Jane is saying, sir, from now on, how many hours per day is good enough? I would say if you're studying for around say 3 hours every day from July, that I think is good enough. And out of the 3 hours, if you want my suggestion, try to study 2 hours every day in the morning. Try to get the 2 hours of work done in the morning, and in the evening, try to solve a few questions for maybe an hour or so. That I think is good enough. Jitin Salim is saying, sir, how should the revision of completed topics be done? Should that be done every day along with normal prep, that is every day new topic as well as revision? I don't think that is needed, because then you will be covering very few new topics. Ensure that you are solving at least questions from those topics regularly. Try to do the revision maybe once a week. Whatever you have studied this week, try to revise on Friday. Something like that I think is sufficient. No need of revising every day, because then you will not have time to do anything else. Royal Enfield is saying, sir, I have a request to Saili ma'am. Can ma'am give an overview for each genre of RC, like sociology, philosophy, psychology, Which are UPSC optional subject? Okay, I'll ask her. She's doing a stream tomorrow. The stream will be at 8 p.m. So you can ask her yourself. Mahi is saying, hello sir, when I started DLR mock, many times I wasted 10 minutes due to choosing wrong set. But later I'm able to solve 1.5 to 2 sets. That is what I'm telling you, Mahi. My strategy is very simple. I spend the first 2 to 3 minutes going through all the 4 sets. And I go through each of the sets in detail. In detail as in I won't spend like a minute or 2 reading the entire set. I try to assess the set immediately. What type of set is it? Can I solve all the set? If I said solve the set, can I answer all the 5 questions? I try to figure it out. Sometimes when I look at the set also, when I'm looking at the questions that are given, in the first 2-3 minutes when I'm assessing that set, the questions are phrased in such a way that you can figure out whether the set can be completely solved or not. Or sometimes if you have like say cannot be determined multiple times in many of the questions, you feel that this set cannot be completely solved. So I try to get that sense also. Because if you solve a set completely, 2 things will happen. One, you will get all the 5 questions done immediately. You won't waste any more time in solving each of the individual questions. Second, you also feel confident once you actually get the final arrangement, say. And when you're marking each of the 5 questions, and once that is done, you feel confident that I've actually solved this set. That confidence also will help you in doing better later on. So I try to pick those kind of sets. Somebody is asking for profile review. We have recently uploaded a page which is a profile evaluator. We'll collect your profile details, and based on your profile details, we'll be showing you videos where I've reviewed the profiles of people who have a profile which is similar to yours. That I think is a good way in which you can understand how I review profiles. So we collect all the details, for example, how much you scored in 10th or 12th, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a non-engineer. We will show you the percentile that is needed for you to get calls from the top IIMs. In addition to it, based on your profile, we also show you profile reviews of profiles which are similar to yours. So you should check out the profile evaluator tool that we have recently launched. Let me answer a couple of questions and then we will end the stream. Please do like the stream, guys. We have, I think around 60 people are watching the stream live. Please do like it. We have, I think, only 48 likes. Let us at least get to 75 likes. Please do like it. Debanshu Bhagat is saying, sir, will own business be considered as WorkX? It will be considered as WorkX if it is a registered business, if it is a private limited or a proprietorship, if you can actually get an offer letter. If it is your father's business or your family business, you will still need an offer letter. You will still need pay slips, all of these things. Rockstar Coats is saying, liked, sir. Very nice, Rockstar. Royal Enfield is saying, what is your priority while attending VA topics among the 4? What do you mean by that? Prabjot Singh is saying, I know it's a stupid question, but is it still possible to score 99.9 percentile with only 4 months left? It depends on where you are right now. If you're taking mocks, and in mocks, if you're scoring above 99 percentile, I think going from 99 to 99.9 can definitely be done in 4 months. But suppose you're taking mocks now and you're scoring, say, 70 percentile. Then I would tell you that realistically, from 70 percentile, you can definitely improve to say 95 plus in 4 months. I've seen that happen, 95, 96 percentile. But from 70 percentile to 99.9 in 4 months is not happening. I don't think that is likely. Samir Mishra, please ask that question again. Sir, I am lagging behind a lot in batch schedule, 2 weeks to be precise. Should I skim through less important videos, skip weekly test or prioritize study room instead? I would say maybe skim through the less important topics. That I think is fine. Don't try to cover the entire 2 weeks in one day. Try to ensure that you cover the 2 weeks of backlog over the next 2 weeks or next 3 weeks. So every day try to cover 2 days extra. Something like that I think if you are doing, that I think should be fine. Maybe if you think a topic is not important, you can just watch the video in brief. Maybe you can watch it at 1.5 speed or 2 speed and go through it quickly. Don't skip the weekly tests because tests are important. I want you to try to solve those questions. If you have listened to what I say, I always keep a lot of emphasis on solving questions on your own. So even if you skip some of the parts of the video, I think it is okay, but try to take the weekly test. Tanuva Burman is saying, sir, is the remaining time enough to get 99 percentile? Again, if you are already scoring around say 80 percentile now, I think you can definitely get 99 percentile with enough effort in the last 4 months. But say if you're struggling, if you're scoring say 30-40 percentile now, going from there to 99 I think will be difficult. But if in the mocks you're taking right now, if you're scoring around 80 percentile, I think 99 is definitely possible. Rockstar Coach is saying, sir, I'm a health insurance agent in CAT DILR Health Insurance and there is no salary. It is completely commission based. Can I show that in my work ex? I think that should be fine. You should have your offer letter, you should have other things. And whatever pay slip you are getting, based on the commission also you'll get some money, right? There will be some bank account trail, transaction trail. So if it is a genuine job, it is very easy to defend it. They won't ask you too many questions. Samir Mishra, is saying it's extremely tough with my current job, but trying that. Thanks a lot, sir. My recommendation is very simple. Try to sleep early and try to wake up early. You will be surprised with how much productive people are in the morning. Try to inculcate that habit. You will be able to do a lot more. You will be able to cover a lot more in the morning. Try to sacrifice your social life. Try not to hang out with your friends in the evenings. Try to ensure that even if you're hanging out, you come back home and sleep by 10 o'clock and wake up by say 5:30 and study for around 2 hours in the morning. You will feel so refreshed. You will feel so happy for the entire day, because the entire day you will feel that I have won the morning. You feel that I had a productive morning. So you will be much more happier. Try to do that. Omkar Kale is saying, sir, I'm getting salary in cash. Does the college ask bank statements afterwards? It is definitely going to ask you bank statements, man. I know that. You will need a paper trail. You will need a way to actually prove that you work somewhere. Praveen Raj is saying, this is the last question I'll be answering. Praveen Raj is saying, sir, I'm going to start CAT preparation daily. Solving 2 LRDS is enough. In spite of solving 4-5 DLRs, just doing 2 DLR is enough, sir. I think that is more than sufficient, man. If you're solving 2 DLRs consistently, that is more than sufficient. I would want you to increase it to 3 DLRs later on. But if you start with 2 and continue solving 2 LRDSs for the next 3-4 weeks, for the next 1 month, that also I think is fantastic. Just ensure that you have that habit and you're sticking to that habit, and slowly increase it after a few weeks. From 2, try to solve 3 sometimes. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Anybody who has any doubts with respect to their profile, please do check out the Krakow Profile Evaluator. That is a very nice tool we have generated. It will take all your profile details and it will give you the percentile that is needed to get calls from the top IIMs. In addition to it, we will look at your profile and show you profile review videos that I have done of other people who have similar profiles as yours. So suppose you are a non-engineer, suppose you are a female, and suppose your 10th and 12th marks are high. I have done a lot of profile reviews. So we'll also show you a profile which looks similar to yours so that you can get a understanding of the profile review system. So try to use it. It will be very useful for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Please do like the stream. And like always, if you have any doubts with respect to your CAT preparation, please do comment below this video. I look at all the comments and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. So if you have any doubts with respect to your CAT preparation, please do message below this video.